Hello, bird lovers. Welcome to Annie's Flock, or welcome back to Annie's Flock. Today, I'm bringing you in my kitchen, and we're gonna make the bird's chop. So I don't always use the exact same ingredients, but I will show you what I will be using today. So let's start with carrots. I'm gonna start with this. I'm just gonna cut them in pieces and then put that. It's like a little, it's not a mixer, but I don't even know how you call this. And I just put this on top and then I just chop this. I don't know. The brand is Ninja. I had this for a long time. And it's perfect. It just chops the veggies perfectly for the birds. Oops! Oh no! Let's wash this. See? This is in real time, right? Yeah. So it just works really well for me because I can just keep the container. I have a lid that goes over it and I can just put this in the fridge directly, so it's perfect. So I'm gonna start with the carrots and then I have a radish here. I'm gonna put this in there and we're gonna chop a little bit those two because it's a little bit harder. So I always chop first the hard veggies, and then I chop the ones that have like a similar consistency, and at the very end I'm gonna add greens and other things that I have that doesn't need to be chopped as much. So let's chop this. Oh, I need to put the lid first. Put the lid on. There's a little hole here. And then let's do this. So I don't chop it small right from the get-go because I'm going to add some more, right? So this is a mini pepper, sweet mini pepper. That one is a red one. So we're gonna add this to it. I'm just making like big pieces so that it's better. It's easier for my little thing to just chop it. Then I have, I forgot one radish. Then I have a little head of broccoli. And by the way, those were all washed already. Very important to wash your veggies. Then I have some snap peas. I'm just gonna cut the end. I don't know why. I guess they could probably eat it, but I don't know. Sometimes the ends are not as good looking. I don't know. That might be just my OCD though. Okay, we're gonna put those in there. Okay, so where is my, right here. Let's chop that now. Let's add a little piece of romaine in there. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of rosemary. My budgies love that. So sometimes I'm gonna put a little branch in their cage just so that it can eat a little bit of it. The only thing we have to be careful here, birds, they don't eat a lot at a time, right? So we don't want to put too much of one thing because the idea is to make sure, my cat is going crazy. The idea here is to make sure the idea of the chop is to make sure that they have a variety. I can't pronounce that word. I'm going to use another one. Excuse my French. A different color of veggies, because different colors means usually different vitamins. So you want to make sure that they have like all the nutrients that they need, not just like one thing, right? They just eat just carrots, then they won't get the nutrients of the other one, right? Anyways, so I'm just gonna wash this one because I didn't previously. For some reason I forgot. So I'm just gonna remove this. I'm gonna chop it in there. It smells good. It gives a really good smell to the chop too. Especially I find when I don't have cauliflower, but sometimes I do put cauliflower. I'm not a fan of the smell of the cauliflower, especially when the food has been sitting there for a little while. So when I give the breakfast this morning, I leave the food there for like 2 hours. So after 2 hours, whatever is left over, I'm going to get rid of. I mean, I could really wait what I give at the beginning and then wait what's left after they're done eating, and then make sure that this is the quantity I give so there would be absolutely no waste. I don't think I'm there yet, or I don't think I have the time for this yet in the morning. You know, I do work full time, so I have to think about being efficient also in what I'm doing. So, where was I going with this? I had a long day today. I'm a little tired. I feel like I say this in almost every video, although I'm doing this pretty late actually. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then I'm going to put some sprouts. This one is alfalfa sprouts. So sprouts is very good. I'm just going to clean wash my scissors. I'm going to cut this in there. Actually, before, I think I'm just going to give it a little chop. Yeah, sprouts is really good because basically it's the seeds that they eat but mixed with the grains, right? So it's really the seed at its best, really. So it's really, really good. Okay, this looks good. So I'm gonna remove this. And then I'm just gonna cut. Where's my scissors? The sprouts directly in there. When it's cut a little bit, it's just easier to mix. So I'm just gonna mix this until I have a bit consistency and quite a bit of sprouts mixed into it, because it's really, really good for them. Ooh. So yeah, my recipe is not always the same. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I remember now. Sometimes I do put cauliflower, but because I leave the food there for 2 hours and there's usually a little bit of leftover, I just really don't like the smell of it. So when I put something like rosemary in it, it just smells a little bit better. Although I do not, and my budgies really like that. although I do not have cauliflower today. Other things, I don't always put the same, but I really like to have at least different colors. Because, yeah, you know, like veggies of different colors have different vitamins. So I want to make sure I have, you know, some orange, some reds. I didn't put any yellows today. I mean, it's yellow peppers, so it's basically peppers, but green, orange, red, you know. So yeah, sometimes I think that's pretty good. Sometimes I will put cauliflower in it. Sometimes sweet potatoes. I'm just being careful with sweet potatoes because sweet potatoes is, well, sweet. So there's a lot of sugar in it. And sugar can lead to too much energy. And, you know, like our birds, they don't fly all day long, like in the wild. So we just have to be mindful of this. And what else do I add? In the fall, I usually buy small pumpkins, and I'm gonna chop bits of pumpkins in there. Sometimes I'm even gonna punch holes in the pumpkins and put seeds and have them to dig into the pumpkin. They really like doing this. What else do I have in there? Sometimes spinach, really good for them. So today I had romaine in it, but if I don't have romaine, I would probably put spinach instead. I can't think of anything right now that I put instead of what I have at the, asparagus. Sometimes I'm going to put a little bit of asparagus in there. Very important when you do your chop. There's all kinds of things you can put in there, but just make sure you don't put anything toxic. So for example, no avocados ever. So, I mean, you can Google it. You can find a list of foods that are toxic for birds, but avocado, it's a big no-no. Then there is some veggies that they're good, but not as good as what I'm putting in right now. Example, cucumbers. It's mainly water. Celery, it's mainly water. So the nutrients component of it is not as big as what I'm putting right now in it. So that's why I'm staying away from this. The other thing also in regards to cucumbers is that cucumbers is very, again, there's water a lot in it. So it gives a texture, a mushy texture to the chop. And I want to stay away from mushy textures because sometimes it triggers hormone. Oh, it's so hard to say that word. It triggers hormones. Hormones? Yes. Woo! And yes, if you haven't figured that one out yet, my English is my second language. French is my first. So by the way, French people, if you'd like to have French videos, just request it. You can put that in the comments on any of my videos. If you want to have a French version of it, I can totally do that. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, so I try to stay away from veggies that makes the food mushy. Peppers sometimes will do that, but it's very good. It's really, really good for birds. There's a lot of vitamin A in peppers, and that's really good for them. So I usually do put peppers. I don't have a lot right now, but let's say I do have more peppers in it. I have some tricks to prevent from being mushy. So here, today I had carrots, a little bit of a radish, just a little piece. I have a little bit of broccoli, snap peas, a red pepper, red sweet pepper, And you can give like hot peppers. They don't taste hot from peppers at all, so you can totally do that. Romaine and a little bit of rosemary and sprouts. And then it gives like this much. So look at the texture. I don't know if you can see, but it's not mushy, but like if they take a bite, they'll have a whole bunch of different texture and, you know, so they won't eat just the same thing. And they do have different pieces, right? They have smaller, bigger, whatever. This for my 4 birds, my 2 budgies and my conure, my black-capped conure and my Indian ringneck. I have enough food for about 3 to 4 days with this. I do have a little bit of waste, like I said, but roughly, 3 to 4 days. And I really like this little thing here because I can just pop the lid on and that's it. I can shake it a little bit and I can just put that in the fridge. So that's why I like this little thing so much. I don't know how it's called, but yeah. Now I just want to show you a little something that I add. And this is my bird's breakfast. They all get that. The 4 of them, they get that breakfast. Some of you probably wonder why there is no fruits in there. So when I first started doing chops or giving fresh veggies, I was giving also fruits. After doing a little bit of research in regards to what they eat, there is actually, and I do love training my birds. And I feel, okay, how can I put this together? So fruits, again, lots of sugar. Sugar, high energy, peak energy. The thing with birds, and especially my birds are not out in an aviary all day being able to fly. They're in a cage. Yes, their cages are bigger. They're flight cage. It's only the Indian ringneck that cannot fly in her cage, but she can flap her wings. That's cute. Flap her wings. Sure, you're going to have a good laugh about this. Look at me flapping my wings. But she does. She flap her wings in her cage. But the budgies, they literally can fly, but it's not like actually flying in an aviary or in a big room or whatever. They don't spend as much energy. So when they get it heightened or excited, if the energy is too high, because they have too much energy, they have to spend it. And especially sugar, it's like a peak of energy and then it crashes. That peak of energy can lead to aggression. And because again, excitement and aggression is so close to one another, the switch can flip really fast. So I'm trying to stay away from anything that would put them in a heightened state, because it's really hard to chill or work with a bird doing training or whatever with a bird that's really heightened. It's better to have a calm behavior, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to stay away from sweets. That's why there's no fruits. Does that mean I never give any fruits? No. I could use fruits for treats. I don't. For me, fruits is more about we're chilling together type of thing. So let's say I'm having a banana. It's like social eating. So I don't share my food with my birds ever, except when I eat fruit. Sometimes if I eat a banana, I'm going to give them a little piece. If I eat, a strawberry, I'm going to give them a little piece. Apple, I'm going to give you a little piece. It's like we hang out together. We're having a social snack together. It's like a special treat when they hang out with me. And it's not always. It's not every time they hang out with me. It's just, we're having a chill time and I'm having a fruit, so I'm gonna share with you. But it's really the only time. Otherwise, I don't share my food with my birds ever. So that's that about fruits. Now, I just want to show you before we wrap this up. I just want to show you something that I add in the morning. So I'm going to show you this. I have flaxseed. They're whole ground flaxseed. It's organic. So that's the brand that I take, but really you can take anything. You could even ground your own flaxseed. Again, for me, that is just, I just don't have the time. That's the thing. So I just buy it already done. But this one is organic, so it's good for them. I have to say, my birds eat way better than me. Look what I'm having here. This is what I'm stacking on right now. Milk chocolate covered raisins. I could snack on this, but oh well. Anyways, yeah, my birds, they eat way better than me. So, so I don't give this every day. Every other day, I put a little bit of it. So it's like, I think it's like a very, very small quantity, that like half a teaspoon, or not even half a teaspoon. It's not full, but it's grounded. And I put a little bit in it so that I can mix with it. So if there's any mushy or liquid or whatever, it just absorb it. So less mushy, less triggering hormones. Oh my God. So hard to say that word. And the reason why it would be triggering hormones, if you don't know, hormones, oh my gosh. If you don't know, it's because when they feed their babies, they're regurgitating the food. So it's like mushy food, right? That's why. That's another reason why you don't feed your birds warm chop. You want it to feed it cold. Another reason. Because it just gets them into nesting mode and feeding baby and having babies and all of that. And this is really good because, yes, there's protein in there. Calcium. It's a great source of calcium. And then omegas as well. So this is really good. Now, why I'm not giving the flax seeds like whole without being grounded. Why I want ground flaxseed instead of whole, it's because it's too small. They won't really eat what's inside. So yeah, and it's what's inside the seed that's actually good for them. So that's why. Now every other day I put this, and then so that it's not every single day, that would be too much. And then my pellets, I will talk about this, the pellets that I feed my birds. There's always at the end of the bag, like a powder like this, because it's cold press. It's not baked. It's really easy to break into little pieces. So the bottom of the bag is always like a powder. So it does the exact same effect. Well, first it's the pellets. So it's cold pressed and it's all organic and it's just really good for them. There's no sugar added to this, no peanut, none of that crap. So it's really good for them. And then when you add it to the food, same thing, it absorbs the liquid. And it helps for diet conversion as well. If For example, Lucy right now, I'm struggling to have her to eat the pellets. So some days she's good, some days she doesn't want to. So by putting a little bit of the powder of the pellets in the veggies in the morning, it's getting her used to the taste of those pellets, if that makes sense. So that's what I do. I alternate in between the two to add into the chop in the morning to remove a little bit of the mushy side of things. So that's that for making my bird's chop. It was a pleasure to share with you how I do it. I don't think it's perfect, and I don't think I am fully set. I think that this may change with time. When I find maybe, because I constantly search in regards to diet so that they can have the best diet. Because I think if you give a really good diet to your bird, there's less chances that you're going to have to pay for vet bills in the future for fatty livers and such. So that's why I think it's important. And the second thing why I think it's important, that's why I'm trying to give them the best diet possible. It really helps when it comes to training as well, because if they just eat junk or treats, there's no food modification there because they just get treats all day long, right? So it's like telling your kids, well, if you finish your homework before this time, or whatever the case may be, you clean your house or whatever, we're gonna go get an ice cream after. Well, if they get ice cream every single day for breakfast, it's nothing special to have an ice cream. You have to find something that's going to be special for them to do that extra task that they don't really want to do, right? Well, it's the same thing with birds. When you hit a spot that they don't want to do something, you can't force a bird to do something they don't want to do. It's not a dog. It's not how it works. So you have to find a way, and a lot of the times it's going to be by rewarding with a treat, because they know this is the only way they can have that treat. Great example from another video, Olive, that did not want to go in her cage. Well, now she knows that if she goes in her cage, she's going to get her favorite treat, which is a pine nut. The only way she can get a pine nut if I ask her to get into her cage and she goes, she's going to get a pine nut. So I have no issue having her do that, even though she doesn't like to go in her cage, if that makes sense. She chooses to do it. So it always ends up being a video about training, I find, even if the topic was something completely different. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that video. Subscribe. It's really late. My gosh, it's 11:30 at night. I need to go to bed. I can't speak. Subscribe, share with any other bird lovers that you know, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye guys. I'm going to bed.